when I got this done, it was almost archery season, and I know I haven't put a video up for a long time, and that's because I've been chasing deer.
They got me.
And other critters. And I just haven't had a lot of success. So I'm going to go ahead and put this video up now. I knew that was going to happen just because of the way this is built. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about it yet. I have an AMS bottle reel, but I always come right back to this setup. I don't know why. Nostalgia, I guess. You're not going to be able to see in there, but these threads are all kinds of goofed up. Should have checked that first, I guess. That's all the farther it'll go, and then it instantly starts to cross thread. When I look down in there, they're just all kinds of messed up. When it's a wood riser, you drill a 27/64 hole, and then you can thread this right into the wood. But because it's magnesium, I don't think that's going to work very good. I can't even get it started, so I have to put this on hold until I get a tap. blew out the brass. It got too tight down in there. So I had to drill it out, and I did my little trick with the 5/16 nuts. Ground them down. I'll just JB weld them in there. Should work. These plates didn't come with a spot for a detent, so we got to put that in there. I'm going to slide it right up in there where it belongs, and then shoot a mark with chalk down in there. Well, kind of worked. Hey, all right. Well, they look pretty close. I don't know if they're 100% flat. I gouged this one a little bit. Well, hopefully it's good enough. I'm gonna take some black fiberglass. Well, it was clear, but I spray painted it. This is just leftovers that I had. Anyway, I'll epoxy them on here, and I won't clamp them down real tight, so we'll have a thick glue line, but hopefully it'll be flat enough to get the job done. I'm not sure if that's 100% correct, but it seems like a pretty good estimate. So the limb pad angle without the aluminum plate is 20 degrees, and with the aluminum plate and that little nail I stuffed under there, I can bring it to 18, which from just a quick search online, it seems like 14 to 18 is where you want to be with these WARF ILF conversions. I should have checked that before I started, and the reason why I was able to do so now is because I wanted to reprofile these limb pads. So I went and borrowed an angle grinder and as I was grinding all that down to that shape, it got hot enough that I was able to pop the JB weld off. We're going to stuff a nail under the other one and change that limb pad angle up to 18 degrees. I don't think I could go any further because of how I drilled the insert for the bolt. So we'll take what we can get, and I'm just going to re-glue them down. So you can see that's about as far as I can go without messing up the bolt and bushing. Okay, so here's where we're at with this thing. I got those limb plates glued on, steel reinforced 4 to 6 hours. And then I used the steel stick to build this up because I didn't need to grind all of that off. And I only needed to grind about half of it. But I didn't know that. Going into this project, I didn't really do my homework. I watched like one YouTube video, and then I looked at a couple of pictures on the internet, and I thought, oh, I could totally do that. And anyway, so like I said, a bunch of JB weld all over the place. The other thing I didn't need to do was drill the inserts in as deep because I've got this plate, and the bolts have that bushing on it, so I'm only yay far plenty of room down there. Again, I didn't know that going in. I thought I was just going to bolt the limbs down and be done. But when I did that, I wasn't really happy with it. And I thought, well, since it's not finished, let's just keep modifying it. So, what I need to do now is grind this down. That divot is below the bolt. I don't want the bolt to actually make contact, so I need to grind it down to about that divot, and then I want to profile it a little bit to match the contour of the riser. So I need to draw a line along here and get rid of this hump. And then I should be done with the riser. So, back to the Dremel. Perfect. Same thing on the other side. And I'm sure you noticed, but I forgot to mention this piece of leather here. So the shelf wasn't flat, it was angled down a little bit. And that wasn't a big deal if you used, you know, the stick-on rest that came with it, but I shoot off the shelf. So I flattened it with some JB weld. You can just see a little bit of JB weld under there. And then it wasn't quite high enough from the deepest part. That's not going to show up. Anyway, you'll have to take my word for it, but it was just under an inch after I did that. So I scrounged around through the wood scraps that I had and the fiberglass scraps, and this little chunk of leather ended up getting me right at an inch. So I glued it on there, and then I tried to radius the shelf a little bit, and then I sealed it up with super glue, so hopefully it doesn't look funny when we paint. And here's my paint for the riser. I'm gonna top coat it with this. And you can really see every little flaw. Not getting very good arrow flight, but I have no idea what kind of arrows it wants to shoot, so. Sorry about the train noise in the background. Nothing I can do about it. Well, I mean, it shoots fine. It's a little underwhelming, I guess. My expectations weren't really all that high to begin with. I got it pulling 43 pounds at 26 inches. So, I mean, was it worth it to chop up these sage limbs? I don't know, maybe. This didn't take long at all to grind out this profile. I had no idea what draw weight I would get out of these. So, was it worth it overall? To get my foot in the door for an ILF rig, there's plenty of inexpensive ILF setups floating around on the internet. But I like to tinker with stuff. I'll keep my eyes open on the web for a pair of used shorts. That'll get me down to 58 inches. So here it is, finished. I went ahead and found a pair of used ILF limbs that I didn't have to modify. These are PSE carbons, and they were 42 pounds. I think they were shorts. Ended up being 58 inches AMO on my 17-inch riser, and they're drawing right at 45 pounds. They shoot a lot better than, you know, these that I cobbled together. They just have a better profile to them. I went with these limb wraps from One Stringer, and I was going to paint the back, but it doesn't look all that terribly bad, and it kind of matches the reel. So next June I should draw a paddlefish tag, so it's going to be a while before you get to see it in action, but this is what we're going to hunt with then. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the process, and I hope you learned what not to do from the multiple mistakes I made. If I had to do it all over again, I probably wouldn't. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time.